Ahead of the 2025 Dutch Grand Prix, drama once again engulfed Ferrari's Maranello headquarters. Team principal Fred Vasseur issued a stern warning to Lewis Hamilton about his public behavior. The warning received significant attention because it came at a crucial moment when Ferrari was struggling to secure a win this season. Is this warning a sign of a crisis at Maranello? Let's discuss it. So far, the 2025 Formula One season has fallen short of expectations for the Scuderia. The SF25 car, which was expected to be a key weapon in challenging Red Bull and McLaren, has instead performed inconsistently. As of the 14th round, Ferrari is the only top team yet to win a major race. This has lowered team morale drastically, while pressure from fans is mounting. Lewis Hamilton, the seven-time world champion who was recruited with much fanfare to bring Ferrari back to the top, has yet to fully connect with the SF25 car. Despite his resounding victory in the Chinese Grand Prix sprint race, his performances in the main races have often been disappointing. Some Formula One analysts believe the main problem isn't Hamilton's speed, but his inability to adapt to ground effect cars. Hamilton is reportedly still searching for a consistent driving style that suits the aggressive rear characteristics of the SF25. No one doubts Lewis' talent, said a Sky Sports analyst. However, the problem is that he hasn't been able to effectively channel his extensive experience with this unique car. Ferrari clearly needs his leadership to navigate the new regulations in 2026. The situation at Ferrari is further complicated by the fact that Lewis Hamilton now has to contend with the growing shadow of his teammate, Charles Leclerc. The Monegasque driver has been more consistent this season, finishing several times on the podium and even scoring a crucial pole position in Hungary, which put him back in the spotlight with the tifosi. This comparison clearly impacts Hamilton. Psychologically, a world champion with a large ego is certainly not accustomed to being second in a team. Every camera flash on Leclerc is a reminder that Hamilton has yet to show his best performance in the red car. Fred Vasseur struggled to calm the internal tension. He had to calm down. In Hungary, he finished Q2 only a tenth of a second behind Charles. Then Charles took pole. It wasn't something to blow out of proportion. A small difference can make a big difference. However, the facts on paper still spoke louder. In the standings, Leclerc was far ahead of Hamilton. The points gap only increased the pressure on the legend. In an exclusive interview with Auto, Motor und Sport magazine, Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur made a surprising statement about Lewis Hamilton's attitude. He argued that Hamilton's reaction to the media could worsen the team's situation, which is already under immense pressure. It only makes things worse, Vasser said. Lewis is very self-critical. Sometimes he's too harsh, not only on the car, but on himself as well. He reacts in extremes, especially when facing the press. Once the briefing began, however, he regained his composure and became more rational. That's just how he expresses himself. However, Vasser acknowledged the positive aspects of Hamilton's communication style. He added that what appears in public sometimes differs from the true dynamics behind the scenes. He said that his relationship with Hamilton remains solid, even though some of the seven-time world champion's statements attract significant attention. For me, it's not a big deal. Lewis always demands a lot, both from himself and from the team. I can understand that, and I respect his determination. However, I don't want his public comments to further strain the atmosphere within the team. Vasser added, signaling that balanced internal communication is key for Ferrari to emerge from this difficult period. In response to comments and warnings from Ferrari boss Frédéric Vasseur, Lewis Hamilton finally spoke out. The seven-time world champion conveyed his views in a calm yet firm tone, emphasizing his steadfastness amidst the storm of criticism. I understand what Fred is saying. Ferrari is a big team with incredible expectations, and I know the pressure is felt across the board. Of course, after a race, I always want to be honest about how I feel about the car. Sometimes my words come across as harsh, but that doesn't mean I don't believe in the team. Hamilton added that he always strives for transparency, because he believes that honesty is essential to building a relationship between a driver and a team. I speak frankly, not to disparage, but to encourage us all to improve. The pressure I feel is as great as the pressure on the engineers, mechanics, and the entire Ferrari crew. We're all in the same boat. Ferrari is now at a crucial crossroads. The team still has high hopes for Hamilton's experience and technical capacity to guide the development of the 2026 car in a new era with completely different technical regulations. Hamilton's presence is seen as a crucial foundation because few drivers possess his depth of technical insight. However, the voices of disappointment among the tifosi are growing louder in every corner of the stands, especially when Hamilton finishes outside the podium, again a stark contrast to the high expectations when he was announced at Maranello. The Italian media are not standing still either. Several newspapers are starting to pose a provocative question. Did Ferrari make a fatal mistake by signing Hamilton? In its latest edition, La Gazzetta dello Sport wrote, Ferrari brought in a legend. But what they got instead was internal tension. Leclerc is shining, while Hamilton appears increasingly depressed. The spotlight emphasizes the growing divide between two groups, the euphoric tifosi, who are starting to doubt, and the team's internal confidence, which continues to believe in the long-term process. The 2025 Dutch Grand Prix is more than just another race for Hamilton, a seven-time world champion who must prove he deserves to be the center of attention at Ferrari. Ahead of the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort, Ferrari faces a major challenge that could determine the course of their season. This iconic seaside circuit is known for its technical terrain, which is full of steep corners demanding perfect aerodynamic stability and car balance, especially in the fast sections that often determine lap times. Red Bull with Max is predicted to dominate the Dutch public once again, while McLaren, with Lando Norris's and Oscar Piastri's consistent performances, remains a real threat every race weekend. For Ferrari, Zandvoort is more than just a race. It could mark a turning point or further exacerbate their ongoing crisis. Hamilton needs a positive result to quell the mounting criticism, and Leclerc is determined to maintain his impressive momentum. After several podium finishes, this internal rivalry adds another layer of drama, with both drivers having different yet equally vital missions for the team's future. If Ferrari fails to remain competitive, the pressure on Frédéric Vasseur will be immense. At Maranello, there are growing whispers about the possibility of major restructuring at the management and technical levels if the 2025 season ends without a single victory. The Dutch Grand Prix is more than just a race. It's a crucial test for Ferrari to prove they're worthy title contenders and not trapped in the shadow of failure. Fred Vasser's stern warning to Hamilton is more than just casual internal criticism. It's a sign that Ferrari's patience is wearing thin. Hamilton was brought in to be the new standard-bearer, yet Leclerc has carried most of the team's burden thus far. Can Hamilton bounce back at the Dutch Grand Prix and prove Ferrari right about him? Or will this internal drama lead to a deeper rift at Maranello? Share your thoughts below.